the travel and tourism industry continues to have a license to operate. This is a powerful coalition of some of the biggest names in travel and technology. Not one entity.
You know what they say, to live is to fight. Well, that might be true for everybody. I mean, we do have to fight against disease. We have to fight people who try to say bad things about us and our families. And it looks like we're still fighting against Harry, the ex-royal prince, traitor to the country, malignant. If Harry is allowed to continue to run wild, I'm afraid he's going to ruin the image of the UK. See, UK citizens are not like him. In fact, they're much better. And recently, the hypocrisy continued when Harry tried to lecture all of us on how we should develop the tourism industry, begging us to save the heart of tourism. Just hearing him speak makes me feel sick. Please join me to find out why. So I wonder if any of you attended the Fake Prince's class on life. Honestly, I'm not sure why he thinks that he has the courage or the character to talk about anything. So he was speaking via video call from his Montecito mansion, and Harry has demanded action to save the beating heart of the tourism industry. Specifically, he is calling on tourists to take care of the environment we come to visit. Harry said, "Travel and tourism rely on destinations held together by communities, without which we have nowhere to travel to. Communities are the beating heart of travel, and we must do better by the people who are the custodians of the places we visit." So what is he trying to do? Is he trying to squeeze every last drop of fame that he possibly could? As rumors are coming out, doubts are arising over whether or not Harry's association with the nonprofit would continue. After last year, Travelist announced that it had entered an incredibly exciting era and no mention whatsoever of Harry. So maybe Harry is hoping this video is going to dispel the rumors that they have split up. Poor Harry. Fame is so important to him, and one day I'm afraid that's going to be his undoing. So what do you think about Harry's little statement? I wonder if anybody even still cares what he has to say. Now, if the words came from another person, I think they would be a lot more valuable than what's coming out of Harry's mouth. Harry, maybe you need to talk to your therapist a little more. You are delusional. It's not the general public who is polluting the world so much. It's you and Meghan using private jets to travel absolutely anywhere, popping over to England to visit your father for 15 minutes before you fly back. Harry, this is the problem. I mean, at what point did he just leave this universe altogether? The travel industry or communities involved with it don't have anything to do with Harry. So why this surprise video? Who is he trying to impress? It didn't even make sense. Harry is just so desperate to keep his name in the media. Meanwhile, he spends all his time flying around the world in unsustainable and unnecessary private jets. It is pathetic. Poor Harry, overprivileged, still trying to find his place in the world, whereby he can just talk incoherently and get paid a lot of money to believe that he is a respected leader and that people are really listening to the garbage that comes out of his mouth. He is somebody whose actions and words simply don't fit. And you know, since you're an American citizen now, Harry, don't worry about being famous in the UK anymore. People don't care about you. You need to understand that. The funny thing is, he and Meghan have this habit of spewing a bunch of word salad, but nobody knows what on earth they were even talking about. The quote is this: "Travel and tourism rely on destinations held together by communities, without which we have nowhere to travel to." Well, I mean, okay, so basically he's saying that there are places, and in those places, people live. And if it weren't for those places, then we wouldn't have anywhere to go. Okay, Harry, thank you for your insightful commentary. I mean, what does he think is going to happen? These places are just going to disappear? They're going to be wiped off the face of the earth? Did Meghan write his speech? Maybe she's working behind the scenes again, and maybe Harry just delivered it without reading through it first. It does sound like the nonsense that Meghan Markle loves to spew. A bunch of buzzwords just strung together. And sometimes Harry was even slurring, and I was just wondering, how high is this man? Harry also doesn't need to be lecturing us on our carbon footprint. He needs to look in the mirror. So tone deaf and pretty ironic too. Harry's preaching to us when his own moral compass is certainly skewed. I mean, who does he think he is? And compare his carbon footprint to mine or any other average person out there. How dare he make these sweeping generalizations about how tourists are damaging locals? What is he talking about? What does he know about the vacations I take, the very few I take? I mean, just the gall of it all and such a lack of self-awareness. Honestly, it's kind of impressive. Obviously, Harry also cannot confront his own flaws, his own failings, his own blunders. I mean, other people have legitimate complaints, but he wants us to listen to his. So what was he doing for local communities too when he was partying in Las Vegas? Or what about when he would fly over for these parties with Diddy? How is Harry any different or any better than his uncle? Good friend of the late Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, who made a lot of money from encouraging juvenile delinquency and brought a lot of shame and difficulty to his own family. And what about the Baka people who Harry refuses to help even though they are being brutalized by his own African Parks charity? Surely by now, both Travelus and Invictus have realized that being connected to Harry is not a good idea. I do wonder, though, what is going on with Harry? I mean, was he drunk? Was he high? Both? What kind of drugs is he on these days? As for sustainability, pretty rich hearing Harry talk about that subject. I mean, Harry alone creates more emissions and uses more fuel than probably anybody else in the world because he's so important, we need to remember. Harry should really stay home more. He should focus on raising his invisible children, shouldn't be jetting all around the world on other people's private jets. Harry just does this to try to get attention. It makes him feel important. It's about time he just stopped, though. He's beating a dead horse. He is the spare. It's done. He's been away from the UK for 4 years now, but guess what? The royal family is thriving without him. Prince Philip passed away. The precious queen passed away. Charles became king. Camilla became his queen. And there was also a coronation. William became Prince of Wales. The royals are just fine without Harry. How about instead of telling us how to live our lives, he pays more attention to that wife of his, tells her to stop going on stage to steal polo trophies and stop trying to get attention by wearing inappropriate outfits to polo events. Harry should really take care of his own family and his own affairs before trying to take care of other people's business. Maybe he should be a good person before telling us that we need to improve. It's hilarious, too, to hear Harry talk about community. What does he know about community? And what does he know about saving the planet? I mean, come on. Harry himself trashed his own family, threw them under the bus. And he also tried to hitch a ride on Air Force One for the late Queen's funeral, which of course he and Meghan didn't get. So why doesn't he think about all this the next time he sends somebody to pick up his polo kit? Harry, it's time to just get down off the soapbox. You are the worst example of what people should be, with all the private jets, the helicopters, the gas-guzzling SUVs. And I would say that Travelist made a very big mistake when they took you at your word. I mean, the organization really needs to reevaluate. You are not a good representative for them. Any organization that uses Harry's image as a representative is going to discredit that organization. So I hope future organizations think very carefully before getting involved with Harry. But you know, this is always how it is with Harry and Meghan. There is a set of rules for them to follow, and there's a separate set that we're supposed to follow. Harry, shut up though. You are making a fool out of yourself. And I believe both Harry and Meghan are incredibly oblivious to the disconnect between their actions and their words. I mean, they would never make these speeches on the topics they do if they could actually look at their own behavior and be honest with themselves. Just think about what Meghan loves to talk about: family, equity, respect for women, bullying, online trolling. I mean, come on. She publicly denounces all of this stuff, but privately, obviously, she supports it. And then Harry wants to talk about how important family is, how much he cares for the environment, how much he cares about the safety and development of children in their communities in Africa, how he cares about nature. But when it comes to his own behavior, he can do whatever he wants to do. He doesn't care about all the harm that it causes. Both of them should just learn to practice what they preach. And until that point comes, they need to shut up. There are a couple of selfish people who shouldn't expect very much. I mean, Harry only cares about ensuring his family's safety, remember? And the only way he can ensure his family's safety is by getting the British taxpayers to pay for police protection. He also admitted that no one is perfect. Oh, thanks, Harry. And what's important is what we do to balance our negative effects. These statements just prove that Harry has zero self-awareness. I mean, he lives in a ridiculous McMansion with unnecessary use of fuel, which certainly doesn't balance out his love of traveling around the world in private jets. He does this for convenience and also for clout, and He knows that. But what's more, does he not understand the rest of us worry about our family's safety as well? Like he's the only one who knows anything and the rest of us are just a bunch of idiots. No, Harry's the idiot. Alright folks, so please let me know what you think about Harry's advice. Did it help you out? Does it help raise your awareness and increase your understanding? Somebody, let's extinguish Harry's illusion of changing other people's perceptions. We cannot let him go around thinking that he's teaching people how to protect the environment and help tourism develop in a sustainable way. The fact is, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He has no qualifications to speak on this matter. He's just wasting our time and making us angry too. Maybe he could use that time to repent for all the sins he has committed. Alright friends, don't hesitate to comment and share your feelings. Then please like, share, and subscribe to the channel so more people can find our videos. Thank you so much for watching all our videos.